This is the spot. What is that? Ah, hello, traveler. Please come in. Have a seat. Take a rest. Find some solace from the heat of the sun. If you don't mind me saying, it looks like you maybe could use some solace. Is this your first time in Ebonwatch? I thought so. Most of the traders and merchants and travelers that frequent this place I recognize, but I don't think I have ever seen your face before. Well, welcome to the city of Ebonwatch. This city serves as a haven of sorts to all kinds of people, to merchants, to adventurers, to people on a pilgrimage, either within the desert or perhaps from outside, coming into one of our larger, finer cities to the south. But almost everyone goes through Ebonwatch first. It is the only city for miles with a water sage and a well, so it is quite important. And we welcome all. All can seek some solace from the heat of the sun. So, what can I do for you? Would you like a room to stay for the day? Or I do have some very nice beverages as well. There will be a meal closer to the evening as well. What can I interest you in? A room? Yes, of course. I do have a few left. I hate to say my largest and nicest rooms have all been taken by some of the traveling merchants. But I do have a few rooms left that are still perfectly comfortable. Nothing fancy, I suppose, but they are warm at night and cool during the day. The beds are comfortable and soft. How does that sound? Good. Let me put this down and I will get my ledger over here. There we go. Let me see. I know I have a few rooms available. Are you traveling alone or are you with a group? Oh, you accompanied Zenith here. Wonderful. Yes, we love Zenith here in Ebonwatch. It is wonderful to meet someone who is so fascinated by the history of the wilds and the empire that used to rule here. Yes, she is a fascinating character. We don't get too many gnomes here. Most of them stay further south, in cities like Baywith or the like, but Zenith is quite the character. She is quite interesting. Always has some wonderful stories with her as well. So you are traveling. Are you an archaeologist as well? You travel with her for your own reasons. That is fine. We don't ask too many questions here in Ebonwatch. Well, I do need a name to put on the room, though, if you don't mind. Okay. And how do you spell that in your tongue? Okay. Yes, of course. And will you be staying for just the one day, or will you be here multiple days? Yes. Okay. Zenith does generally like to not waste time. But Ebonwatch is a wonderful place to restock on water and food and supplies, recharge a bit on a comfortable bed, and then continue your journey. Wonderful. Well, with the price of the room, I can also offer you a beverage at no additional charge if you would like. Of course, of course. I have quite a few different options here. You see, since we get travelers and people from all over the place, I like to have a good variety of different ales and wines and other drinks that may appeal to a multitude of people. So, what are you in the mood for? I have a very dark ale that was actually brewed by dwarves from the Kingdom of Maladia. Oh, you are from the Kingdom of Maladia. Well, then perhaps you would like that one, the dark ale. Or if you would like, I do also have a wine, a very rich, beautiful wine from the Empire of Kanjakar. They are quite proud of their process of creating wines. Or I do have some more local delicacies as well. Sure, yes, I can show you what I have. Moment, let me put this away. Let's start with this one, shall we? Now this is a local wine. Well, not particularly local, but it is made in the wilds. This is a very beautifully flavored white wine, brewed with grapes from near Baywith. They are a grape called Narinja. In your tongue, I believe it translates to the word delicacy. And they are quite the delicacy. It produces a wine with a somewhat fruity flavor. Yes, flavors of pineapple and mango. You can get just hints of that. As well as a floral undertone as sort of you finish the sip of the wine. It is a beautiful, beautiful flavor. Or I do have a few other beverages that are very specific to the wilds, if you would like to see those. Okay, yes, just a moment. We will put the Narinja wine back there. Let's start with this one, perhaps. Now this is a very, very special beverage to this region. It may not look like much as it is just a clear liquid, but this is a beverage called raki. Now, it has the flavor of... Are you familiar with the flavor of licorice? I do not believe that is very common in your kingdom. No, okay, well, it is a very rich flavor. Similar to mint, but not quite. It has more of a darker flavor to it. So this is a liquor that is flavored with that licorice. But it is made in a very, very special way. You see, it is distilled twice, traditionally in very large copper vats, so that you do not get any impurities in the liquid. And one distillation uses a very special concentrate of seedless grapes, more of that Narinja grape. And the other time we use a very special kind of plant called the anise. And it gives a beautiful full-bodied texture. Now, something that is very special about this drink is that though it looks clear, just like this, generally we drink this mixed with water so that it is, a little less strong. But also because it is quite fascinating what happens when you mix it with water. if you pour just a bit of this into a glass and then fill the glass with water, both of the mixtures together will create a milky white beverage. It's quite fascinating watching them transform. This beverage has the nickname Lion's Milk for that exact reason. Now, this is a very strong beverage, generally drank with friends and very slowly. You see, in the desert, because it is so hot, you don't always want to have very strong alcoholic beverages because you don't want to get dehydrated and, be hurting when you are in the heat. So, this one we mix with water, but I do have another drink that is also very, very special to this region and is relatively low content of alcohol. Okay, here, let me get to that one. Now this is another drink very special to this region. It is called bosa. It is a bit thicker. Generally we serve this one cold over ice. And I keep this one in ice when I am not serving it. And it is made with the crushed and then cooked berries of the wheat plant and a very special kind of sugar that we ferment together. It gives a slightly acidic, slightly sweet flavor. And as I said, it is not all that alcoholic, so you can still drink it on a hot day and not feel the effects of it too much. It is a very pleasant drink. I find it quite refreshing as well. Would you like to try some of this one? Of course, of course. If you do not like it, it is okay. As I said, I have ale, I have some wines, I have some other drinks as well, but you may like this one. This is a winner with people who have traveled here for their first time. We will start with just a very small cup. Then if you do not like it, you can have something else, okay? Or if you do like it, I will get you a full cup of this. There. That should be enough for a good taste, without too much. So, give that a taste. See if you like our bosa. And if not, I will certainly get you something else. I will not be offended, I promise. As I said, we are friends to all different kinds of people here. As long as you do not wish harm to other people, you are welcome here in Ebonwatch. What do you think? Oh, good. I am glad that you like it. You know, sometimes travelers from other kingdoms or empires come here, and they do not wish to try new things, which is okay, but there is nothing wrong with knowing what you like. But when you are in a new place, you get a new experience to try things that you would not have the opportunity to try otherwise. So, it is always fun when a new traveler wants to try something like our bosa. Alright, let me get you a glass. We'll get a full glass of that for you, okay? Where did that mug go? There you are. Here we go. I'll get you a full glass now. So you traveled here from the kingdom of Maladia, you said. I have never been, but I have heard wonderful things about it. Well, and some not very nice things about it as well, if I am being honest. It seems like it is a beautiful country, but not without its struggles for those who live there. Yes, that is what I have gathered from other travelers and traders who have gone there. Well, here you will not run into such political unrest. Not in Ebonwatch, at least. Like I said, we are relatively open to people, as long as you do not cause harm. Well, here you are. There is your glass of bosa. Yes, of course. You enjoy that. Hopefully that will help to cool you down and refresh you after your traveling in the desert. Oh, no. I just could not help but notice that you are a bit, sandy. You look as though you got into a fight with the desert. And perhaps the desert won. Well, would you mind if I perhaps helped you get a bit cleaned off? You would most likely be much more comfortable if we are able to dust off some of this sand and the grime from the desert. Okay, here, let's start with some of this protective gear that you brought with you. Interesting. I've seen people wear masks in the desert to keep, the sand and the wind off of your mouth and nose. It is very good. You do not want to be breathing in the sand, of course. But I don't know that I've ever seen a design like this. Very lightweight. Has these little breathable, what are these, ventilators? This looks like something a gnome would make. Yes. Interesting. But it is quite dusty, isn't it? Here. Let's just brush it off a bit. There. Now, where did you happen to get a mask like this, if you don't mind me asking? Is this common in your kingdom? An inventor? Really? Fascinating. It seems like quite the good invention, especially for travel in the desert. Interesting. Well, if your inventor friend ever makes it to Ebonwatch, if this is the kind of thing they make, I think they would make some good money here. There we are. Look at that. Good as new. Got all of that dust off of there for you. May I clean these glasses for you as well? Okay, good. Now these I have seen similar designs before. Yes, they are quite reflective, which is good for the sun. It has this little lip here on the side to offer a bit of extra protection from the sun. These two have gotten quite dusty, haven't they? There. That will help. Oh, this? Yes, I keep a few different brushes and rags and things like that around here. You would not believe the sort of people who have walked through that door, the state that they have been in sometimes. Especially people who have never traveled through the desert before and were not well prepared. Now, luckily, you are traveling with someone who has traveled in the desert before. Zenith comes and goes from here somewhat regularly. Regularly enough that she knows how to prepare for travel in the desert. And unfortunately, that is not always the case, especially when someone does not know about the dangers of, the different creatures that live in the desert, or things like sand pirates. Yes. In fact, just this morning, there was a group of merchants that came into town talking about being set upon by sand pirates. We saw a ship, or what we thought was a ship, in the distance yesterday evening. And sure enough, here they were, after being attacked. Quite sad. Luckily, I do not believe anyone in their party was too badly injured. But they did lose quite a lot of valuable merchandise, apparently. Quite sad. Well, when something like that happens, the good thing about living in a place like Ebonwatch is that we come together to help. They are staying here free of charge tonight. But don't tell too many other people that. I do not mind helping those who need it. Ebonwatch is a place that took in me and my sister when we were very young and had no place to go. So I am happy to do the same when someone is in need. There, perfectly shiny, good as new. Now, we have your gear taken care of, but I do happen to see quite a bit of sand that still was able to get in and cling to your face a bit. Would you like me to help to brush some of that off for you? Okay, here. Let me just get this other brush. I have two different ones. This is the very, very soft one, so it will not cause any sort of discomfort, okay? There. My sister? No, she does not work here at the inn. She is actually a guide. Actually, you may meet her. I believe Zenith has hired her in the past. She is very well versed at traveling in the desert. And she does a very good job of guiding merchants and other travelers. You see, it can be a very treacherous place if you do not know what the dangers are. But she has been traveling this place for a very long time, so. And she is, if I do say so, she is quite strong. Quite well versed in the art of combat as well. And quite protective, at least of me. Maybe that's just her little sister, but you know. Okay, I think we got some of that off, but it does look as though some of it has clung to your skin a bit more than the brush was able to get off. Would you like me to help you wipe it off with some cool, fresh water? I would be happy to. Yes, of course, of course. No, no charge for this. As I said, I am happy to help those who need it. Put this away and I will grab a little bowl, alright? Go. There. Just put the fresh well water in here. I have a nice clean cloth here. This will help to wipe off any of that dirt, as well as to just help refresh you as well. It will feel quite nice to have a nice cool cloth on your skin. I take it after this you will be looking for a place to rest. Of course, I will show you to your room. I think that you will sleep very well. Not just because you are incredibly tired, but also because it is a very nice room. I do my best to make it as comfortable and still affordable as possible. Now, if you would allow me, I can help to clean off your face a bit. Okay. Just going to... There. There. That should help to get rid of some of that grime. There we go. Now, since you will be traveling with a guide, I take it that you will be taking the Zahar Pass on your way to Baywith, correct? Oh, well, perhaps you would not know. I'm sure that Zenith would know. That is the way that most people travel, at least those who know the desert. You see, there are two different ways to get to Baywith. There is the Zahar Pass, which takes you through a sort of natural canyon. And then there is another way that may look a bit less dangerous than going through a canyon, but it takes you right through the territory of the sand dragons. And that is not somewhere that you want to be, if at all possible. They are quite territorial, quite temperamental, quite dangerous. It is said that a few of the different races that call the wilds home can tame them, keep them as pets, even as a steed, perhaps. But most of those people have unfortunately been lost to time. The Zahar Pass is definitely safer. Especially if you're traveling with a guide who knows where the bandits like to hide and can steer you away from that. Oh yes, there are definitely bandits that live in the Zahar Pass, but I would rather take on a group of bandits than a group of sand dragons. That is for certain. Especially traveling with Zenith, you have some equipment, but you are not traveling with expensive goods like a merchant to sell, so it is likely that you will not be targeted. Probably. Do not worry. If you are traveling with my sister, she will keep you safe. Very little gets past her keen eye. Very little. Trust me. There. Now you are looking much more clean. Are you feeling more refreshed? Good. I am so very glad to hear it. You do look as though you may be ready for some rest. Okay. I do hope that you have some time to spend in our wonderful city. It is, as I said, a haven for people, but it is also a thriving hub of trade. There is quite a lot of different merchants, different people selling different things at the market. Every day it is something new. You will go there and some people have more permanent booths or stalls, and some of them just pitch tents as they travel from city to city, peddling their goods as needed. Yes, it is quite fascinating. I hope that you do have time to stop by at least a few of the different tents and stalls there. I'm sure you will find things that you cannot find in your kingdom. And of course, some very useful things as well for your journey. It is a few days through the Zahar Pass, even with a guide. So you definitely want to make sure that you have plenty of water and provisions. And things to help you keep cool and keep yourself out of the sun as well. Well, all of that you will be able to find in the market. No problem. Well, shall we get you to your room? Oh, you are right. I didn't actually collect the fee of the room, did I? Well, generally for 1 day, as well as a few beverages and, of course, meals from our kitchen here, it is 3 silver. Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much. If you cannot afford it, personally, I am okay accepting less. But, if there are people who can afford that price, it is good. Then I am able to help other people too. Okay. Thank you. Oh, there are 4 silver here. Are you certain? Well, I appreciate it, kind traveler. That is very, very kind of you. It will go a long way to helping other people who may need some assistance. Sometimes all you need is a kind face. There we are. Thank you very much. Well, let me show you to your room then, shall I? It is just up those stairs over there. Then you will be able to get some good rest before you set out again. All right, good. Well, I hope that you enjoy your stay here in Ebonwatch.